Mhm.
Hello.
He shaved his head. We're ready.
I'm going to give people a few minutes
To what?
to log in, or do we just go?
If they're here, they're logged in. we're live. We can go.
Okay.
Hi, good evening. This is Chastity and this is Jimmy. We're stuck together and stuck with each other, and here we are.
So we got the special chair.
Yes, he was very happy for this chair. This chair is it's not really a it's like a big person's chair, but it's I think that's Griselda. Yeah, I think that's Griselda. Hi, Griselda. So yeah, we got this new chair, and I think he got it specifically with this study in mind. It is Griselda. Oh, and Raquel. Hi, guys. Good to see you guys. So we're talking about from something to nothing today. And before we get started, do you want to pray, or do you have like words? Oh, we're praying every other. Oh, did we finish what your chair was?
Oh, it's a big man chair, so two people can fit in it, and you can be close together.
Or one big man, but we're not that big, so that's why we can both fit in.
Or it's good for taking naps.
Yeah, he definitely like completely knocked out in the chair, so he was just super happy. Raquel said hi. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to pray because Jimmy prayed yesterday. So, you're gonna hold my hand today because you just like went off praying yesterday. Lord, I just thank you for tonight, and I thank you for being able to get together and being able to be in the Word and being stuck together. Lord, I'm blessed that we're stuck together, and I'm blessed that you're allowing us to be able to be in the Word and be with everyone that's listening together. And I just pray that you would bless this time in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So,
So,
your homework was Genesis 1 and 2. So we went over Genesis 1 and 2 also. And there were some key words that was in Genesis 1 and 2. Well, we started with, in the beginning, God created yesterday. And then in Genesis 1, he created a bunch of stuff.
And then he created man.
Yes. Anyway. And so we got to Genesis 2:24 was our key verse. And in Genesis 2:24, well, he said did other stuff before that. It's not good that man's alone. It's not good for man to be alone. But then no suitable helper was found in Genesis 2. So in Genesis 2:24,
that's why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Keyword, united.
Yes, so we looked up united in a bunch of different versions, and it says, in different translations, it says joined or cleave or
twined.
But the one that stuck out to us was in the Jewish Bible, the complete Jewish Bible, and it says, "This is why a man is to leave his father and mother and stick with his wife." Can you believe it actually says stick with his wife? And they are to be one flesh. So that was the version that stuck out to us.
Like cactuses that are stuck together.
Hence our logo. You're stuck with me. So, where do you want to go with that? How is that applicable to our day today?
How is that applicable to our day today? Well, today I was stuck together with my wife.
And I was stuck together with my thoughts.
And so...
Oh, Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, and Ashley.
Sean's probably here, too.
So, it was one of those weird days.
Yeah, poor Jimmy.
So she got started this morning, and she made a statement on Facebook's post that she said, and she asked me my thoughts, and I gave her my thoughts, And then she went into her thinking about the words, and then it brought her back to a study that we did before on how your words should be words of blessing. You should be speaking blessings onto your kids. And so she had to respond to the post, and then she went into like this super deep thought. So it's like when I go into super deep thought, I just don't talk. She'll ask me a question and I say, well, I'll get back to you later. And she kind of knows that we're speaking, like that I'm thinking about it. Like little Barry that you can hear is thinking about coming over here, but she cannot. So, but her way of thinking is
words.
And so she gets into the words. When I just think, well, I'm going to choose my words very carefully, she immediately starts thinking about those words. So all day I thought, she's upset, I did something wrong, or something was wrong. I could tell something was off with my wife. But instead of trying to fix it, because men are fixers, I just kind of walked around.
He was so concerned. He's like, are you okay? Is everything okay? He'd come in and kiss me and cheek, and like I'd be like, I just have to get this thought out. Like I can't stop. I can't explain to you what's going on right now. I just need to be able to get my thoughts into words and my words on this paper, because this is where I'm at right now. And so he didn't know what that meant. So I could hear him, and he was in the room, and he was playing his game,
baseball.
And I couldn't fix it for him because I had to just get past this. I was so engrossed in thought that I left my phones out here, and I didn't even have, I missed a training appointment. I had an online training and I didn't even do that. So when you're stuck together, it doesn't necessarily mean you're together. Your thoughts are together, or you're in sync.
It doesn't mean you're stuck doing the same thing. You can still do separate things. So we're basing this on social distancing, staying at home.
Yeah.
So that encompasses stuck together.
Yeah.
So even though we're stuck together, we're trying to create a simulated norm.
Yeah.
So when I go to do the things I need to do for my job, I go to a specific location. I'll either go to my office. The last couple days I've been doing my work in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the door gets closed. She goes and does her thing. I go and do my thing. And then we have an agreement is when we cross paths in our office, or walking down the office, or going to the coffee maker, or to the copier, the rule is we have to kiss. So
yeah, it just became a rule. Like he had to make it like law, and I was like, dude, I was already doing this, so I really don't think you should like enforce this on me. But if that's what you feel you need to do, then okay.
So it became our company policy, which we kiss more now. We kiss more now.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't like a mandatory thing.
So,
but I mean, I guess that's fine. I think it's good that it's like an unwritten. Well, no, you made it like a written law. We didn't write it down, but he had to articulate it as like law.
Like these are the rules,
and that's fine. I took it in stride. I didn't feel like, who is he to tell me what to do? So I felt like that's good. And so I gave him the same banter that, okay, well, when you come into my space, you kiss me too. So that's kind of been how it is.
And it's a good thing.
It is a good thing because it makes it lighthearted.
It makes,
and it makes it purposeful.
And it gives you that connection. So she gets a soft kiss every time I walk by. So
it's not like we're making out or anything. Like, we're not teenagers.
Yeah,
there's no tongues or anything going on.
We're not macking. We're just it's a peck. Little A
Yeah.
peck on the cheek, a little peck on the bald head, a little peck on the hairy head. But we're stuck together, so why? Just because you're stuck together doesn't mean we're gonna go about our day like our normal day.
Right.
So, normally I wouldn't get a chance to go over and kiss my wife.
Right.
Every now and then I'll pop into her work and I'll say, "Hey, babe,
Yeah,
I'm
that's few and
here."
far between, and I
Um,
can't go to his work.
So,
And we rarely. I mean, it's not like we purposefully text each other even during the day. We
No.
used to do lunch together every day when we were both working full time and we were up here before years ago. I mean, we do make it a point to be together, but now we're stuck together, so it has to be.
lighthearted.
It does. I think it's good. I didn't even realize that's what you were doing. That's pretty good.
Human contact.
So the keywords that we pulled out were it wasn't good for man to it's not good for man to be alone. So why'd that stick out to you?
Because if I was alone, then I would just be here alone. No, since this has been enacted, I'm trying to be a responsible
She
American.
said you. Griselda said you.
I'm trying to be a responsible American, and I'm trying to, do my social distancing.
Right.
So for, I don't know, almost a week and a half, I haven't seen my friends except for, Brandon popped in and dropped off a mouse because my mouse failed. Other than that, some friends of mine, JR and Luis, stopped by, dropped off the row machine so I could try to stay in shape. And we talked.
Now there's a row machine
we
in
talked-
our living room.
We talked for 45 minutes, and I was like, wow, this is the most interaction
But they
I've
were
had.
socially distanced.
Socially distanced, but it was the most interaction I've had in weeks. So,
But we're not saying that because this is a couple study and it is focused on two people being stuck together. We're not saying that there are not single people out there that are not okay by themselves, because some people are okay by themselves, and I get that. And they, you know what? God even said, like, if you don't need to be with somebody, that's cool, because then you're more focused on what I want you to do. But for us, we're not good alone.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it when he's here by himself, and when I go and I do, because I do go, I don't like being gone forever. Like, I get very.
No, she can go.
I can go, but I don't like being alone. Where I go, I'm not alone. I'm with other people. So.
But when you go, I don't go, and
He doesn't go, and he is alone, so he doesn't like that. So the only reason I'm good to go is because I go and I'm with other people. He don't like to go necessarily, and he doesn't like to be alone. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Feel free to answer and ask questions and pop in, because this is supposed to be interactive, but I know everybody is like, well, we don't know if we should talk while they're talking because we don't want to interrupt them, but it's like we're all sitting together, but we're not, and so we definitely want you to just feel like, hey, what about this? What do you think about this? Why does my husband do this? So, okay.
And some of this stuff's gonna pop up later. So
yeah.
So like this is why a man leaves his father and mother and
sticks with his wife,
clings to his wife,
and they are to be one flesh.
So that's together.
That's together.
So when your flesh is apart, when you get a cut, it doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't feel good.
So
because we're accustomed to be together. So yeah.
And then that kind of falls into on the man's side.
Griselda said something. What if you like to be alone all the time?
It'll happen.
I do like to be. I do like when I'm here. Well, I do like to be alone, and I like to be able to focus on what I'm doing.
It depends what you're calling alone. Is that alone with you and your husband? Or is that just alone time?
Yeah, because you're not alone in your house. And then Raquel said, yes, it makes sense, LOL. Josh is the same. Josh is just like you.
Yeah, and it's not that, I explained it to her a while ago, and I was like, it's not that because we can be at home and we could just both be doing our own function.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, we're here, let's bust out Trouble, and I just say Trouble because we got that.
We don't. We have board games, but we don't ever play
It's
board
like,
games.
hey, let's play a board game.
No, we don't do that.
Hey, let's watch a romantic movie.
Oh, well, that very rarely happens.
You know.
But
my thing is, it's all about
just
present.
me. Griselda wants to be just me alone.
Well, even on that note, you need that alone time, and that alone time, that's like she would go to a closet, and she would just call it her prayer closet, where she could just go and be in the Word, focus on God, and have that alone time.
I do need. That's why I do my live streams, because it keeps me accountable to do them, and not that I don't do them. I couldn't do them with him because he does suggest, hey, I could be in the background. No, because this is me focusing on me doing my thing. I gotta do this thing. And I don't want to have to explain my thing because I'm in the middle of my thing. And it's not that I don't love you.
No.
And I will explain it to you after.
Sometimes I want to be alone too.
Yeah, I don't, it's not like I won't ever explain it to him. It's like, I'm in this. I need to get my mind through this. And that's a lot because I'm ADD and I'm OCD. So as I'm in the middle of something, I got to hyper focus to get through it. So for me, that's why I'm like that. But for him, he just is, he's just him, and he wants to do his time too. So, but very early in our marriage, I think we would go through, and she's just giving us all kinds of thumbs up. We would go through, and like, he'd be working on the car, and I would go out and I would sit in the garage. Like, I don't know cars, but I would just sit there so he was not alone, because maybe I could hand him a whatever thing that he explained to me really intricately. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what he's saying. Or I could just be another person there, so he could talk or whatever. Not that he talks a lot, but so.
But it still brings you back to that togetherness,
yes,
where there's the two-person accountability.
Right. And it's a big deal to have time alone, but then it's also a big deal to make sure that
you have time together.
Because it says there was no suitable helper found for him. When Adam was naming all the animals, there was no suitable helper found. Well, before we found each other, we didn't have a suitable helper. We were out there.
Otherwise, we would have found other suitable helpers.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean,
if we missed each other, we would have found suitable helpers.
Well, it was ordained by God that we came together.
Right.
So, obviously, we didn't find a suitable helper until we met each other, and then
right.
we were,
That's my suitable helper.
Yeah.
And I really feel like that's not a bad thing. Like, I feel like that's a derogatory term nowadays, like, because the woman is supposed to love, honor, or you're supposed to respect your husband, and he's supposed to be the head of your house. And when we get to all that, women have a hard time with that, but I like my role as being the suitable helper. I think that's important for me to be the suitable helper, because that's my job.
And on the men's side, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing. And
he's always treated me like that.
So if God gives me my wife, how can it not be a good thing?
Raquel said, I do the same thing. Josh will game, and I'll go up and sit in his game room. We like to be together, even if he's gaming, and I'm just up there watching Netflix. See, it's all about presence. Yes, presence. You don't have to say something. It doesn't have to be all deep all the time, because when you're together a lot, you end up saying all stuff, and it's just your presence. Yes. We had a TV that I would watch and you would game on in the same room in our bedroom for a long time. Like, that was our norm. That's what we did. Presence. We're together, and that's okay. And so, united to his wife was the other key phrase. Why would that stick out to? How does that pertain? What is that?
Well, if you go back and you look, when God finds that Adam doesn't have a good helper, he puts him into a deep sleep, cuts him open, takes a rib, and makes woman. So, when Adam wakes up, he's like, this is the flesh of my flesh.
Yes.
This is the bone of my bone.
Yes.
So that's the missing piece to me. Jesse's been my missing piece. Without her, then I'm not whole.
Aw.
So, you know, that's why.
That's why men take long naps.
Because we're taking naps for the both of us.
Because I don't nap.
So
I know people nap. I think Griselda takes naps.
So
I don't nap.
but you know, but nevertheless, you can't. You know, you're intertwined,
Yes.
and you're flesh of my flesh,
Yes.
but we're not. You know, and the two become one.
Yes.
But you know, we're still born out of sin, so we have our own selfish.
Right. You know what it is? I think it becomes that we are married, but we are still us, and I feel like we are united, and we're I'm his helper, and he's not alone. But it makes a big deal that our marriage is okay, that our marriage isn't the center focus of our entire existence. Like, we are okay with who we are. That's why our marriage is good. If we would not be okay with who we are, or if we expected the other person to be everything for us, then it's not okay. Yes, I have napped most of my life. Griselda.
I tried, but
Yeah. He napped for like 3 hours. It feels like it turns into nighttime. But yeah, I mean, I think the only way for us to be not truly alone is to be okay with who we are, so we can be there for the other person. And I think the only way you can be a helper is to help yourself first, just like they say, to give yourself the oxygen so you can help the other person. Like, if I'm not okay, I can't help you.
yeah, when you're on the airplane, the mask falls down.
Yeah, the mask falls down. Yeah, he has, because I just say half a thought. And then you can't be united to someone else if singularly you're broken. Like, if I'm broken, I can't be who you need me to be.
Yeah, it's this.
Then you and God have to be
then
good
this.
in order for you and your spouse to be good.
Ooh, wow,
So
look, we
Woohoo!
and then we went like this.
Yeah,
It's a cross.
it is cross. But I think that's the big thing, is that we are both in good places with our walks with God right now. So we are in good places in our marriage.
Yeah.
So.
And she said I emphasized too much on us not getting along. But
yeah, I felt like it was like a big thing.
All I'm saying is we have petty spats when normally we wouldn't. We would come home, we'd talk about work that day.
Right. And there was a routine of, I'm going to share this much, and then you share this much, and then we eat dinner, and then we watch Steve, and then we go to bed, and then it's just like
Steve Harvey.
Yeah. So I mean,
Steve Harvey, and then we laugh together. And we say people don't have the right answer.
But you guys all know that, because you guys all had your own routines. Everybody had a norm that nobody has anymore. And so what does that mean to us now? What stuck with you today?
What stuck with you today?
So.
As in, what stuck with you out of the reading that you did? So
or what we've talked about, or what we thought.
Because we're going to kind of move forward.
Yes. Our homework is going to be Genesis 6. So, because the next chapter in Genesis is Cain and Abel, and we're not going there. And then there's like genealogy, and we're not going there. So, we're going to Genesis 6. And so, if you wanted to read over Genesis 6, that's where we're going to pick up tomorrow.
But in Genesis 3, there's a lot that goes down.
Well, yeah.
So
you could definitely touch on anything you want. But we are going to be going to Genesis 6. So, you have an idea of what to look at.
Genesis 3 today.
Oh, we're touching on. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
So, you know, Genesis 3 talks about the fall of man. We don't have to read the entire thing, because you know why? We want you to read the entire thing, because we've read the entire thing.
Right.
But what it talks about is the fall of man, and you know.
It's my favorite part. You know why? Do you know why?
Yeah, I know why, but we're not going to go there yet,
Okay.
Because a lot of what's on my heart
go ahead.
is how this relates to us also right now.
Yes.
like right now in the world that we're living in. Like I said, along the study is nothing's new under the sun. My wife reminds me of that every day. Oh, well, that's not new to God. There's nothing new under the sun. So, with that being said, God gave clear and direct direction to Adam. And he gave him this because he's the head of household. He's the one that's held accountable for the decision. He's the one that's held accountable for the decision.
Not me.
So when God gives you a direction, he gives you a crystal clear direction.
Yes.
So, especially in the Old Testament, because people were just running around and they had no direction.
Right. So he gave him all these things that he had, and he told him to not eat this one tree. And I always thought, like, dude, why did he just not make the tree? Like, he could have just not made the tree. Why have the tree there in the first place if you can't eat from it? Wyatt says hi. He's smiling and giggling watching Yaya and Papa. I love you, Wyatt. But yeah, I always thought, why put a tree in the garden we can't eat? And you know why? Because I was in my online training and they were complaining because the dog kept grabbing a slipper, and so they would tell the dog no, they'd take the slipper no, and then they just put the slipper away, and then they would give it a toy. And I was like, well, but you've not like connected the correction of why the slipper is no good. So like, in order for him to understand not to eat the slipper, you would really have to have the slipper and the toy and the things that he shouldn't eat and the things he should eat all out together. So when he goes for the slipper that he's not supposed to eat, you can correct him and say no. Like I could correct Little Bear, but she doesn't have a leash on. And then when he eats the toy that he can't eat, you say nothing. So she understood that, and I had no idea of putting that together until right now when you said that.
Yeah, but God
Isn't that amazing?
But God gave us choice.
Yes.
He let us have choice.
And that's...
No choke chain.
Right.
No correction column.
I would have like a raw neck because I'm like so never listen.
So what did Adam do? Adam let Eve eat the apple.
Yeah, because he was standing right there.
So, and it's like what that relates to with us is she'll say, well, I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm going to be gone for a couple days, and it's up to me to say, well, I don't want you to go because I need you.
You have to tell me that.
So if I don't tell her I need her, then
I just do it.
Then she just goes, and then what happens?
Then 3 weeks later, out of the blue, he brings up this random thing that he's upset about, and he's been upset all this time, and now he feels the need to tell me, and I'm like, dude, I don't even remember what you're talking about. And then it's just like, why would you not tell me then? But
well, because
yes,
choice. Because of choice.
Choice. Yeah. That's right, Griselda.
Adam let Eve have the
because
choice.
It says
in Genesis
3, the serpent says, you will not certainly die. And so she took it because it was pleasing to the eye, and she took some and ate it. And what did she do? In verse 6, she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it.
And that's
probably because he let her eat it first to see if she'd die, and because she didn't die, he decided to eat it too.
But
you're describing my husband.
So if you just read that. Yeah. So when the woman saw the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also like desirable really for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her.
Why didn't he say stop? What are you doing? Why are we talking to this serpent? This is not a good thing. Let's walk away. No. He just stood there. And let her have a conversation with the serpent.
And so what happened? We got coronavirus and we're here.
That's what happens when you eat the apple. There you go.
When somebody doesn't stand up and say no, you are the head of your household.
Be the head of your household.
Be the head of your household, or
because you're accountable for your household anyway. Shouldn't you be the head of your household?
Which goes back to God, and God said we are also subject to the rulers that are in place.
Right.
Because they're ordained by God.
Exactly.
So if the rulers in place are saying stay in place, then
you shouldn't try to groom dogs when you're not supposed to.
There you go. So
But there were so many other trees, right? Right? There were so many other trees,
Oh,
but
yeah.
only this tree had the serpent telling her she should eat it.
because if you go back, if I just messed it all
It's
up.
okay. It's okay.
So if you go back, when God was creating the earth, He created plants, trees, fruit of all different kinds. So there was so much to eat. There
Yes,
was so
many
much
other
out
trees.
there. But oh no 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 no!
Yeah.
Let's eat what we're not supposed to eat.
Right.
So
Why would you do that? You know why? Because it's your choice.
your choice.
It's your choice. And that's why they didn't do martial law. That's why everybody keeps saying, oh, they're going to do martial law. They're trying to give us a choice. They're trying to say, here, we're giving you a choice. Do the right thing. And you know what? I was the one. I was the one that tried to convince my boss, hey, you know, we can do it this way. Let's try and do it this way. Why don't we work it out to do it this way? Because I'm always trying to find the line and then standing my toes right on the line before I fall over the line. That's me. I'm always right there. And then my husband just kind of is like, no, I don't think you should do that. Well, you know.
So then they just Adam let
They're enough for them.
Adam let was there.
Yeah, Adam was there.
Didn't say no, and then there's the fall of man.
Yes.
Boom. Done.
Boom. Done.
Done. It doesn't get, you don't get to say I'm sorry.
No.
You don't get to fix it. So.
Yep. So do you want the notes?
Oh no.
Oh, were you looking for a verse?
Yeah.
Which one?
And then what happens?
Then they play the blame game. Well, it's this woman you gave me, and then she says, well, it's this serpent that's here, and then it's So
let's hide out.
Yeah, let's hide under this tree. I don't know. So, yeah.
And then they realized that they were naked.
Yeah, it's all over now.
Yeah, you have pain and birth and all that good stuff. Yeah. And we have to toil the fields and stuff. So.
Toiling sucks.
So now we're
And then they got kicked out.
And then they got
kicked out. Wait. But then something had to die. Something had to die because they did this. Something did die. The animal died. The animal died he had to kill an animal. God had to kill an animal and make its skin to cover their nakedness because they were naked. So our choices affect other people or things. Our choices can cause life and bring life, or it can bring death. It does. And it did right there.
Some people like to call it the butterfly effect.
Mm.
You know, does one butterfly flapping its wings
cause a tsunami in
cause a wave
Japan?
Or cause the wind? So, but that's kind of, you know.
And then they were kicked out.
Then they got kicked out. They got the boot.
Mm-hmm.
So, here's the notes.
Oh. So the notes say, what stuck with you?
What stuck with you today?
So we're hoping that something stuck with you, and please share it in the comments or anywhere.
Because they made their choice, and guess what? They both got kicked out, and guess what? They were stuck together. So they had that blissful stuck together, you know? They didn't know anything else.
Yes. It's like Little Bear. That's why she's happy to stay in her bag, because she doesn't know anything else. She's happy with that because that's all she's done. But Obi, on the other hand, we allowed him to be a dog when we went to North Carolina, so now he suffers with anxiety of not wanting to listen. So we're just trying. I don't know what that. I think Ashley has the baby posting. But I don't know. So we're just hoping that something stuck with you today and you're able to add it in. We're going to continue to post them in our YouTube channel so you can share it with people that maybe don't have Facebook Live and they're able to see it. Yay, Obi. Raquel. She loved Obi when he was out there. So we hope that you enjoyed it, and please like and share and all that good stuff. And Genesis 6.
Genesis 6 is your homework. And don't... What?
What about Chewie? What about Chewy?
Well, that's where we're talking about stuck.
Yeah, we're stuck with Chewy. We got two candidates that we were training. I thought would be excellent candidates to train for basics assistance. I chose to bring them into the program, and Griselda and Maria, they chose to try and train them, and then
gone.
Choices outside of our control on the other side of the world caused us to be in a pandemic here in the United States, and now no one wants to buy a dog. So we're stuck with these well-trained AKC Shih Tzus that need homes.
You're advertising now.
I'm just choices. I'm still in choices. So our title was From Nothing to Something, and it started with nothing in the beginning. God created.
There was nothing.
And now there's something. And
now there's something.
We've taken where there was nothing that we, not that we had nothing going on, but we're doing new things.
Well, there was nothing over here when we were apart, and then we came together,
yes.
And then there was something, and then, you know, we're that no kids generation. So we had that something with our kids, and then slowly our kids left and got married, and husbands cling to their wives,
and then everybody kind of feels
cling
sometimes
to their husbands, so that
we have nothing.
Now the house is empty. So, so we went through that. We have nothing, but then, you know, all along we knew at the end
we had each other.
It was going to be each other. So we were building.
Choices and presence is what stuck with me. That's what stuck with Raquel. And that's what we hoped stuck with you. That's super important, is that your choices affect other people, and your presence with them is priceless.
It's pretty cool.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool to get off work in my office and then come out here and see my wife, and then maybe she might still be working, so then I'll go do something.
Because we have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, so there's just so many rooms we can go to. So yeah.
But then at the end of the day, when we're done doing our jobs, we're back to what we're trying to do, which is create a normal.
Yes.
And for those of you that are out there, try to take your normal and work it back into your abnormal.
And maybe your normal wasn't good. Maybe what you guys were before wasn't functioning and wasn't a good place. And just because you're here now doesn't mean that has to make it worse. Maybe this is the time that
maybe you can make the choice
to make what you had that was nothing into something awesome. So
quality time.
So we hope that really is something that this is going to help you guys do. So
I guess the key word ended up being choice.
We've been saying that because being stuck together is a choice.
I think it is.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
And make good choices.
Yes, make good choices.
Good night.
Night.